I think it's being recorded. Alright, it's your boy Carcino here. I haven't sent out one of these videos in a very long time. This is the old Uvu platform. Now we're going to see if this works, and if it works we might stick to it, and that way it fixes YouTube's problem of messing up my videos. Now, where were we? People were talking about Abner Mares. Will we finally get to see Abner Mares in there with the big boys at this weight class between him and Donier? Will we finally get to see that fight? At this point, no. Because Abner Mares is now signed with Al Heyman. So now that Heyman is his advisor, I don't think you're going to get an opportunity to see him do all of the things that we wanted to see from him. There's fights out there against Lomachenko, Nicholas Waters, that's also appealing. You know, they probably put him in, maybe they'll get Orlando Salido, but I just don't see Al Heyman and what's his name working together, him and Bob Arum, even with their other fighters. That's why you probably won't see Danny Garcia fight Manny Pacquiao, but they have no plans for that. I told you what Top Rank plans is for Manny Pacquiao, to build him up with Terrence Crawford. I told you Terrence Crawford's entire fight itinerary. So far, one fight's down. Next is be Juan Diaz, and then, Manny. That's the fight plan. It's basically the same plan they had for Mikey Garcia. Terrence Crawford ended up taking it. And then they're sticking it to Mikey because Mikey's trying to sue to get out of his contract so he can go over to Al Heyman. So it's a terrible situation for them. Chavez Jr., Mikey Garcia, I don't know what they thought they were going to achieve by pulling this. I mean, Chavez Jr., what is he going to really get? He can't really beat anyone at these divisions unless he keeps fighting scrubs. What they going to do? Chavez Jr., Peter Quillen? Who's really thinking about Peter Quillen now? Nobody. Nobody's thinking about Peter Quillen. I have not heard one post, one thread about Peter Quillen. I mean, and this has been over months. People's totally forgotten about it. So that's where we are right now. But there's other stuff going on besides Mayweather and Pacquiao. So that's why I kind of touched it a lot. So I won't have to touch it no more until something comes up. But as of right now, that's not even on the platform. What's on the platform is what's going on with these lighter weights. The lighter weights are, we need fights at that level so we can kick it into another gear. Forget all this other garbage people talking about, oh, is this going to happen? They need to get the lightweight division straight before they start talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao. Oh, man, they messing up boxing because they ain't giving people the fight they want to see. I mean, you looking at the situation between the two are not happening because people are not doing what they're supposed to do to make the fight happen. You've been supporting the plans of both teams, so you're happy with what's been going on. So it's only a problem once the fight's over. Now it's a problem. So you crying preaching to the choir or whatever. Nobody wants to hear it. Now, for the other fights that are not taking place, you guys are staying silent on those, and those are more critical, I think, for the sport of boxing. We need more Danny Garcias versus Lucas Matisse type fights. We need those in boxing. Some that we had in 2013 that were going to be crap in 2014. And we told you this. I told you all this was going to happen this year. If you don't believe me, scroll my videos back to the end of the year, what I told you what was going to happen in 2014. we were going to have pay-per-view, 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 pay-per-view. Because they cannot afford to keep putting these type of salaries out here for the fighters and guarantee them this money with television budget. You just can't do it. That's why Canelo's fights that was really should have been on Showtime was pay-per-view fights. Because Golden Boy is still in that lawsuit and they trying to settle now. Now that they're working with Amen, working with Bob Arum, he's helping Oscar De La Hoya get out of his stranglehold he got on him with the lawsuit for the Canelo Alvarez situation. See, and that's why Oscar's got to kiss butt right now because he knows he's in a vice grip because they illegally stole Canelo, and Oscar's trying to say it was all Richard. It wasn't me. I'm innocent. I just bought another house and yacht off of Canelo, but I'm innocent. But you still owe money, buddy. Your name is on there. So trying to dump it on Richard Schaefer's shoulders and say it was all him, not gonna ride, buddy. Not going to ride. And now this $50 million lawsuit you got against Richard Schaefer, now you're going to try to say the man tried to steal the company. All of this craziness is holding up fights. Holding up fights. Because the lightweight division still haven't been sorted out. We don't have a true champion really at none of these weight classes. Guillermo Rigondeaux, who beat Nonito Donaire, really has been struggling to get a fight and get back in the game. Everybody's back in the game except for him. Lomachenko is more in the game than him. Lomachenko had like 4 fights and already didn't fall. More stiffer type of competition than Rigondeaux. So it's like Rigondeaux's got to get in the game, man. And, people are ready. We've been waiting. We've got to see it happen. Rematch Donaire, fight Nicholas Waters, fight Lomachenko. These guys are there for you. Abner Mares is out there. Let's get these fights going, man. You got, what's his name out there, but they don't want to fight Rigondeaux. The guy from England. And they just really don't think he brings anything to the table. It would be a good money fight for him. And he hits Carl Frampton. I think Frampton's very, very good. Good speed, good timing. It's just that if you can deal with his power, you can give him some trouble. But Frampton's really good. And I think that he trouble a lot of fighters in the ring. Like Leo Santa Cruz, people was like, okay, let's see if Leo Santa Cruz is for real. We want to see what he does against stiff competition. Let's get him in there with Frampton. Let's get it going on. Let's get him in there with Rigondeaux. He says he's not afraid of him. These are the fights the public want to see. But these fights are not being made. And that fight can be made. That has nothing to do with Bob Arum. Arum don't have nothing to do with Rigondeaux anymore. Rigondeaux's a free agent. Why isn't that fight being made? It's so messed up. It's not just Mayweather and Pacquiao that's going to fix everything. No, it's not. That fight's just going to make a lot of money, and we still are stuck with the problems that are not being addressed and they're not being worked out because y'all don't care. Once you start caring about it instead of complaining about it, then things will get done. That's just the way it is. Care. Actually give a damn. Do something. Don't just say on the blog, oh man, this is ridiculous. It sucks. See you next week. Because then you get taken advantage of. If you're not going to stop something, someone's going to continuously do it. They're going to continuously give you bad decisions. They're going to continuously give you crappy fights. And they're going to continuously do the same thing unless you change the structure of how this is going. If you do not change the structure, you will be victimized all the way around the board. Now, you got to say, do you want to be the victimizer or the victim in this situation? Because you guys are not getting the results you deserve. You know, we already went through this. I don't want to go over it no more because I think we went over it enough. Well, certain people should be world champions that are not. You know, they just not. They got robbed, and we know it, and we seeing it all over and over again. They got robbed. Marquez got robbed in the third fight with Pacquiao. You know, so he got robbed in the second one. So it don't really matter. It's like, look, boxing is the way it's always going to be. As long as there's a betting line for boxing, it's always going to be controlled. Somebody's going to make sure the point spread is not crazy. Somebody's going to make sure that they win some type of way. But we got to start changing how it goes. Because fights are not being made, and there's other fights out there besides Mayweather and Pacquiao that this is happening to. So key in, focus on that, and talk to you later. Chuck the deuces, if they still say that. I think we done. I said we